Cool.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode 11 with Dan and Jan Go Yard. I'm Dan
Hello.
Goldberg, as you know, and this fine gentleman, this handsome guy right here is Jan Sumner, who was the batting practice pitcher for the Colorado Rockies for 6 years.
Correct.
And today is what? The 14th of October of August. Ahead of myself.
Wishful
Hello.
thinking. Yeah.
And interestingly enough, Jen and I were talking before recording last night rather, it was on Netflix. I don't know why they put it on Netflix, but it was on Netflix. Was the Phillies playing the Twins on Field of Dreams night.
Yeah.
It's the Field of Dreams game, and to me, it's my favorite movie. My son gave it to me for Father's Day when he was like 13 or 14, and I cherish it. It's great.
Yep.
It's baseball, it's really great. And when the players walked out of the corn, it was just like it gave me chills.
Oh, absolutely.
And then they had all those Hall of Famers
Yes. I've
walking
got
out.
Yaz as a bat.
You do?
I do.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And it was just, if you grew up loving baseball, it was one of these things where it literally was so touching. Even the players said they filled up in a way because, watching all the Hall of Famers and being there, walking through the corn and playing there. Now, the original field from the movie is closer to the house. They
Correct.
built a whole regular stadium
Right.
further away. But
yeah. And the original, when they made the original movie, the corn was pretty much croaked. They had to spend, they were in a drought, and they had to spend beaucoup bucks to irrigate it and, get it tall enough. And then it was, and then it was taller than Costner. So he had to walk on a thing to get his head above. You didn't want to just hear, what? They'll cut, what? Just a voice. So
that what he had to do?
Yeah.
He had to walk on a platform?
Well, to get him higher than the corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty corny.
Yeah. Did you see Rizzo was interviewing Schwarber after the game last night?
I did not see that, no.
And they had corn, ears of corn there.
Yeah.
And he says to Rizzo, what do you call one kernel of corn? And Schwarber goes, I don't know, a unicorn.
Yeah. Well, what do you call the oldest kernel of corn that has all these other younger kernels of corn around them?
I don't know.
Popcorn.
Of course. We fit into that category.
Of course. We do. And I don't know if you noticed, Bryce Harper, who's really a showman, and they call him the showman. He was wearing arm guards, if you call it that, okay, and a sleeve that was corn. That looked like corn, and then his bat was corn. It was like a husk, and then the corn inside, and it was great.
So special. It's just.
I tried to video as much as possible. So.
Oh yeah. Well, you probably can go into Netflix and record it.
Yeah. I thought too late about that, so I held up my phone until my arms couldn't take it anymore. So it was great, and And
Yep.
I would say, talking about what we've discussed in baseball for years, for the years of baseball, that going to the closest thing would be going to Wrigley or Fenway.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I've not been to the Field of Dreams, but I did get to throw at Wrigley, and
Right.
it was just so cool because I got there and I was in the clubhouse and getting dressed out to go throw, and a couple of the coaches said, "Just go out and walk around before we all get out there. Just go." So I did. I just went out and walked. Just drank it in. Just walked around that field. It was a lifetime experience. I've
Yeah.
been to Fenway, but not on the field. But yeah, they're just iconic.
Yeah, they are. They're iconic. And it's interesting how you could take a non-existing field
Yeah,
in a non-existing league and make it as important to the game for those who love the game
yeah,
as any stadium, as any team. I mean, it
yeah.
does give people chills. And
It
that
does.
line,
Yeah,
do you want to have a catch, Dad? Can we have a catch, Dad? Or however the line is spoken. It is also iconic.
absolutely.
And Ray, what is it, Casello?
Ray.
Ray Casello. And the interesting thing is that after the game, Corey Clemens, who used to play for the Phillies, now plays for the Twins, said to his father, Roger Clemens, "Do you want to have a catch, Dad?"
Mm,
And they did, and they filmed it. So
yeah.
it's like, it's
There's a
just,
film of the Griffeys doing that,
yeah, yeah,
coming
it's
out, just the two of them coming out of the corn. And of
really
course, yeah. And, Ken Sr. was my boss in '96.
right, right.
And I got to meet Junior when they came to town. But, it was, Ken was, he had a great sense of humor. And he was
Senior,
yeah, he was fascinated with the fact that I was older than he was. He just, if he said this once, he said it 100 times. You're older than I am. You'll go before me. I mean, and the next year, you know, the general manager at the time he would only sign the coaches for 1 year. That was it. And Griffey and Baylor were very close friends.
yeah,
And Ken wanted to stay, but Bob Gebhardt was the GM. He wouldn't do it. 1 year at a time. That's it. So Ken went back to the Reds as a coach. But we stayed in touch, and they were coming to town, and my Karen's brother's huge baseball fan. And he was coaching baseball at George Washington High School where we went. And do you think Ken had come out and put on a hitting clinic for the kids, for the ball team? So I'll ask him. So I called, yeah, I'll do it. So I picked him up at his hotel downtown, drove him out to GW. And we're walking down the hall, and they had pictures up of all the former teams. I've got it right there. And they're black and white, and it's just. So I said, Ken, look at this. And I was in the middle, and I said, see, that's the 63 team. That's me in the middle. Now, of all the things you would say about that, that's cool, Jan. Oh, yeah. I see. What does he say? Oh, that was before color photography.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah.
great. I don't know if I mentioned this, talking about that. The first photograph in the United States was of my high school. My high school was founded in 1836. It's Central High. It's the first Central High in the country. So when you hear about somebody having a Central High, that's it.
Wow.
And I may have mentioned this to you also and to our listeners, that it is the only high school in America where when you graduate, if you qualify, you get a bachelor's degree.
You did mention that.
Yeah, you get a bachelor's.
How did that work? I mean, what?
It worked because the state of Pennsylvania modeled it after the city and the state modeled it with the same qualifications as the University of Pennsylvania. So they made it so that you could get a bachelor's, a master's, and a doctorate at Central High. But now they nobody gets a master's or a doctorate anymore. But it's still there. Theoretically, you could do it, but nobody does it. Okay.
Right.
For years and years and years, nobody's done it. But you can get a bachelor's degree.
So you have 2 bachelor's degrees.
I have, unfortunately for me, I was dumb enough to flunk a class. So I had to go in the summer. Was it the summer? Yeah, I had to go to summer school.
What was the class? Don't tell me it was gym.
I have no idea because I flunked it. So
did you attend? Did you even go to class?
Yeah, I attended, but there used to be a luncheonette right across the street where I spent a lot of my time during class.
Okay.
You know, but I was the class clown. That was good enough for me. But I am a graduate of Central, and I do have my diploma. My brother has his bachelor's degree from there. He has 2 bachelor's degrees.
Wow.
But I do have a doctorate and a master's degree, so I made it.
Yeah, you did okay.
Yeah, I did okay. It took me 80 years, but who cares, right? So the greatest thing I watched last night, and you noticed it, is that the Phillies wore their uniforms from 38 to 41. They wore the blue hats with the regular P.
Right.
They wore a thing that said Phillies. Now it just says, what does it say on it? It does say Phillies. Yeah. It was a bigger script. And it was more blue. There was more blue in it. They were wearing their away grays. And,
right.
Did you have 2 uniforms, like away and home?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I wondered, did Schwarber get those 2 home run balls back?
Yeah, they talked about that.
I mean, boom, it's in the corn. I didn't see people out there in the corn.
They actually talked about that.
I would want those if I were him.
What's that?
I would want those if I was.
Yeah, I'd want them too. But how do you find it? I mean, it's so, it's like hitting it into a field of corn, right?
That's good. That's good.
That's good. I went to high school.
I
went to high school. I did go there. Okay.
Yes, but you did flunk it. No. After BP, there had to be a bunch of balls out in the corn.
Absolutely.
So how do you know?
You don't.
Well, does it matter? I mean, somebody could give, hey, this is the ball you hit out. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he does have 37 home runs now.
Yeah. Well, if you throw him down and in, hello.
Right, exactly. And Larry Walker was there, right? Because he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he is.
And they said he's the only person to hit, what was his average? 360? Something like that?
I don't know.
See that? They said
he
was the only person to hit that high 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask Dr. Google about that, because you pitched to him.
I did. I told you about taking in a poster. I think we discussed who Malcolm Farley is, the sports artist.
Yes.
Famous sports artist. And he drew this, I think it was 97. Walker was the MVP. in the National League. And Malcolm drew this awesome painting of him, just gorgeous painting of him. And there was a brief period, a couple of years, I represented Malcolm as an agent. Anyway, he gave me one of the prints. It's just beautiful. And so I had said to Walker, hey, because he had done a couple signings with the print and whatever. And I told him I had one. I said, if I bring it in, will you sign it for me? And he says, oh, yeah. So I took it in, was all rolled up, and we unrolled it. And, and some guys gathered around because it's just gorgeous. And I guess he thought this was funny. And he gets the pen, and I'm standing there, and he goes, who should I make this out to? Jane. And of course, these guys, I said, no, leave the E off, will you? So
E, yeah. Now here, this is unbelievable. Okay. What he did. In 1997, he hit 366. In 1998, he hit 363. In 1999, he hit 379. In 2000, he hit 309. In 2001, he hit 350. And in 2002, he hit 338. And he also hit 322 in 1994 and 306 in 1995. They said he's the only person to hit over 360 3 years in a row.
Yeah. He was, as an all-around player, I think I've told you, I think he was the best they've ever had. He was 5 tools.
But he came from Montreal. I mean, he played in Montreal.
Yeah.
And I wonder who they traded for him.
I don't know if he became a free agent or
that may be it.
I don't know, but he he was super talented. Had a cannon of an arm. I mean, some of the stuff you see today, the guy throws it from the outfield and 5 bounces, it gets.
Yeah.
Walker would gun him in the air. And he played right field.
Yeah.
And right field at Coors, they have the old-time scoreboard. It's a shorter porch, and the ball can take some weird hops off that scoreboard. And I can't tell you the number of times he deked runners.
Wow.
I mean, they'd hit the ball. It's, good fly ball to right. And he knows, I'm not going to catch this. It's going to be off the scoreboard. And he'd back up to the, and you could see runners hesitate, and then he would turn and get it off. Well, if they tried to move up a base with his cannon, he'd get them.
That's why he's in the Hall of Fame.
He hit the longest. I know there have been a lot of balls. Griffey hit one into the third deck during BP once. Piazza hit one over the center field is the batter's eye, of course. And they've got a little forest out there.
Yeah.
With running water and everything. Before they had that, the forest, it was just a big green wall. And the Rockies are on the road. I think they were playing the Dodgers.
That would be called Rocky Road, wouldn't it?
It would. It was. And so they're on the road, and Gebhardt calls them on the road and tells them, I'm going to have a new surprise for you when you get back to Coors. And they're all thinking, oh, cool, updated phone and video in the bullpen, and they come back, it's the same except there are trees now. And early on, you could tell the guys on other teams that had not been around pine trees, because the visitors' bullpen's right next to the batter's eye, next to the trees and the fountain and all this. And before, you'd see guys going over and touching the trees. But Walker hit, it was BP and it wasn't off me, but he hit one. I don't care if it is BP.
No, I agree with you.
He hit one into right center, and it hit where the third level is. It hit the facade in front of it, right on the edge. That ball had to go 500 plus feet if it had been able to go the distance.
Yeah.
And everybody went, what? I mean, but I remember Griffey telling me, he said, you know what the best hitters can do more than anybody else? And, hit the ball. He said they can stay back longer. And that's true. The great hitters stay back, see the ball longer, and generally speaking, they'll hit it where it's pitched.
It's interesting because the color guys, for the Phillies, they have three, they rotate. One is Ruben Amaro Jr.
Okay. Right.
He used to be the GM, and he was a player for the Angels and the Phillies in Cleveland. John Kruk, who's one of the best. He's the funniest.
He's a hoot. Yeah.
He's terrific. And he was with San Diego and the Phillies for years. He's on the Wall of Fame. Benjamin is what Mike the announcer calls him in the post game shows, but Ben Davis, and he played for Seattle, and they all will say that he's letting the ball get further back.
Yeah.
Letting the ball get further back, so that that's when you can see the break better. Right.
But it requires that you have really lightning quick reflexes.
A rise is like that.
Yeah. Let the ball get deep. A lot of guys, they're not comfortable with that.
Yeah. A rise waits. That's why he's won 3 batting championships.
Yeah.
He waits on the ball. And when Schwarber or Harper or Turner are in their zone or Stott, when they're in their zone, you can see that they're waiting longer. Right. And they're not lunging. These guys lunge, and it's pathetic to see. But yet, the average fan doesn't realize that ball looks like it's coming right in.
Yeah.
And then it does this.
Oh, yeah.
And Nola had that going yesterday with a knuckle curve.
I've never understood how anybody can throw a knuckle curve. It was never even comfortable for me.
Really?
Yeah. It seemed painful. And I wanted to just kick the finger out. So, but a lot of guys throw it, and it sure was working for him yesterday.
What's it look like? Do you have a ball there?
Yeah.
You can use this one.
I got one.
Okay.
You just.
Oh, that does look painful.
Well, this finger is, as you can see, is toast. Theirs folds down better, but that's the essence of it. And then when you throw it, it just rolls off your middle finger. Well, I used to just put them together like that.
Right.
And it was like one big finger, but all the pressure is on that middle finger. And that's the one you want to pull down on the seam.
Oh.
And the other one just kind of, if it's if they're jammed together, it's kind of like two fingers pulling down on the seam.
Yeah.
But I never, no.
Isn't that a recipe for blisters?
No, the recipe for blisters is usually a fastball, and as it comes off, the seam burns the end of your finger.
Oh,
right there. I mean, some guys will get it on their. Most guys, I think, get it on their middle finger. Some will get it on the inside of their index finger, but it's caused by the seam. When you let go, after a while it just burns.
And so
yeah.
You got to wait until it heals, right? You can't.
No.
What do you mean?
Well, I think we talked about this once before. When I was in high school, I got it because I was probably throwing 88, 89 in high school. And on the middle finger, I got a bad blister because the seam was burning it. Well, the first bit of instruction, I go, move your finger on the ball. Yeah. So what? I'm going to come off the seam and have it pop out.
Right.
You can't do that. I mean, I tried to come up a little and keep it inside. It didn't work. Then I was told to use pickle brine.
Oh, right. You did mention that, yeah.
And tincture of benzoin. Well, they all turned it hard as a rock, the callus, and, well, it just popped open again. But then I got out of baseball for a while. And then when I came back, I thought, hello, don't I want to keep this soft and supple? Yeah. So I would put between innings, before I warmed up in the bullpen, I put Neutrogena lotion on it. I never had that problem again.
Really?
Yeah. You want to keep it soft, not turn it hard.
Sure, of course.
But
you can't put a Band-Aid on, right? You can't have anything like that in pitch.
No.
Now, I have a question about this.
Okay.
You look at a baseball, okay, or what's his name? Ray Jones was the guy from Field of Dreams. The voice, the guy was.
Oh yeah.
It's
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. What a voice! Iconic voice. He passed away like a year or two ago. But
he did.
James Earl Jones. It's baseball. I wonder who, and maybe you know this, maybe you don't. Who designed the baseball? Why does the baseball look this way? How did it become this thing that is like two flaps sewn together?
Yeah.
You know,
and it's 5 1/4 ounces.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Why? I don't know. We'd have to research that. I'm sure. And then the softball's a little bigger. But 5 1/4 ounces. I used to know how many, the same number of stitches in every ball.
Yes.
Hand sewn.
They are hand sewn.
Mm-hmm. There's cork in the middle of it. Then there's just, string around that, which then creates this exact size. I don't know, but it was brilliant. I wonder, though, guys in the 20s, 30s, 40s, generally speaking, men were smaller then.
Yeah.
So their grip, it was probably a little more of a challenge. Randy Johnson, well, Koufax could wrap his fingers around a baseball.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now,
really?
Yeah.
Well, it is a small thing when you look at it. It's not that big. It's just like, for some guys, it's like throwing a pebble.
Well, Randy Johnson?
Yeah.
But one of their advantages is, with those long fingers, they're going to get such amazing spin. I hate to bring it up, but spin rate as the ball gets out of their fingers, because it's a lot further out of their fingers. So it's I don't know.
It's something that,
brilliantly designed.
yeah, somebody came up with this idea.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I know it's not Abner Doubleday because,
No.
that's, but
They're
it
not
was,
even sure he ever saw baseball.
I know. I know. And by the way, did we talk about the Take Me Out to the Ball Game? The song?
No.
Take Me Out to the Ball Game, which is iconic. It's as American
Yo,
as any
absolutely.
other song, uh, is really about a woman who has all these suitors. If you think about Stop the Sally is it's the intro. And what she's saying is if you really want me to be with you, you have to take me out to the ball game, take me out to the so if you read the words to
Yeah.
take me out to the ball game, it's about a woman,
Who
right?
wants to go to the ball game and meet more men. No, I
Yes.
don't. I don't.
Or once she knows that it's the right guy because he's taking her out to
Take
the
her to the
ball
ball
game.
game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's all these nuances, all these things about baseball. I always want to say it like James Earl Jones, baseball,
Oh, yeah.
are so interesting. It is a game. Who came up with the baseball? That's what I want. I mean, soccer is like when I was a kid, we used to call it kickball. Remember
Right.
that?
Right.
It was
Yeah.
kickball.
Right.
Um, but who came up with that? Who came up with the fact that it has all these seams? Why isn't it just two things with one seam around? Right?
I don't
Just
know.
like that's it. So here I'm watching this thing yesterday, and out of the corn comes Ferguson Jenkins, Larry
Oh,
Walker,
yeah. Yeah.
Mike Schmidt, Steve Carl, and on and on and on. And Ferguson Jenkins was from the Phillies. He played for the Phillies, and then they traded him to the Cubs for like Bob Buell or Lou Burdett or somebody like that. And look at him; he's a Hall of Fame guy. But it's just amazing. And then all the Hall of Famers were around the infield,
Mm-hmm.
that curve, and they introduced them with why they're in the Hall of Fame. And
Yeah.
then you begin to realize that all these, and it wasn't all the Hall of Famers. Koufax wasn't there, and
Right. Right.
there was about 20 something of them, but Hoffman was there, and Barry Bonds wasn't there because he's not in the Hall of Fame, and Roger Clemens was there, but
But not
not in the Hall
in
of Fame. Yeah,
there.
but the guys that they had just it's amazing to me. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you think of the how many thousands of players have played in the major leagues?
Oh, and the bigs,
Yeah.
probably close to 20.
Close to 20,000.
Right.
And how many are in the Hall of Fame?
No, not a lot.
Not a
I don't
lot.
know what that percent would be, but it's tiny.
Yeah, maybe a couple hundred. Maybe a couple hundred.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Phillies have like 50 or something in their Wall of Fame.
Right. Yeah. Each team will have their own Hall of Fame.
Yeah, of which Chase Utley was just inducted.
Right.
And Jimmy Rollins was there, and Ryan Howard took the thing off the
Oh,
sheet off his
yeah.
black. But
And that's an honor. If
it
your
is an honor.
own team, puts your number up and honors you, that's pretty
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. But they don't retire your number. If you're on the Wall of Fame, your number is not automatically
No,
retired,
no.
and it's
But
it
there aren't
is
that many of those. Jackie
no.
Robinson. Is Mantles? Is
Yeah,
it?
Mantles is retired. Well,
Yeah.
from the Yankees, yeah. The
Right.
Yankees. The only one that's retired from baseball is Jackie
Jackie
Robinson.
Robinson. Yeah.
which always makes me a little like, why isn't Larry Doby? Also, Jackie Robinson, I get it. He stands alone, okay? He definitely stands alone. He put up with a lot of crap. And but Larry Doby was the first in the American League, and they didn't have interleague then. So
No.
he had the same situation,
Yeah.
just in the American League. So I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't know. It's the history of the game is so multifaceted
It is.
and deep into American history.
It
It's not,
is.
oh, here's baseball, like James Earl Jones said, baseball rode along through all of it, the history of America.
Yeah, it is.
And that's,
It,
that's what makes it so unique is it's been a part of the American fiber since, well, there's evidence it might go back to the Revolutionary War. It certainly was
yeah.
around during the Civil War.
Oh yeah, it was around during the Civil War. I think it was
So,
around. I'm trying to remember when I was at Fort. What do you call it? Valley Forge with Washington. If we played,
talk
George,
about history.
well, it's interesting because I could drive 20 minutes and be in Valley Forge.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
yeah, 20, maybe 25. The Battle of Germantown was right, 15
Oh,
minutes
yeah.
away.
You're in the
And
thick of some American
I'm in the
history.
thick of it. Actually, I can walk to this street called Bethlehem Pike. It's Pike, and there's a there's sort of a hotel there, an inn that and they're preserved and they're still used. That Washington's troops stayed at. They went there. They
Wow.
ate there. There's another one where you can still see the bullet holes from the Revolution in there, and where the guys ate on the this whole thing, this street that's very close to me. If you
Yeah.
follow it along, I mean, it's where the Revolutionary soldiers stopped and ate and camped and so forth. So
Amazing.
it is amazing, and it's amazing that through a lot of American history, before football, before basketball,
Oh, yeah.
before hockey, maybe hockey in Canada, but
Right.
uh, there there was baseball,
Yeah.
and there still is baseball, and anybody listening to us, and as you know, we like to have these conversations that want to comment, feel free to comment, and we'll talk about it. But um, people tend to say, well, football is more popular. Okay. And I will say, why do you say that? Well, first of all, it's more popular in colleges. Okay, I get it.
Oh, sure.
But there's no minor leagues. There's semi-pro,
No.
but there's no minor leagues. Like minor league baseball has God knows how many teams. A lot of them pack the place. Okay, and then if you're playing in Philadelphia, for instance, or LA, or some other, even Colorado draws. Okay, so you look at there's a bad night at a Phillies game is 35,000.
Right.
A bad night. It has to be snowing or something.
Yeah.
Usually there's 38, 40, 41,000 for 81 games, not including the playoffs.
Right.
The Eagles have a stadium that holds, I don't know, 66,000 or whatever it is, but it's 8 games. And
Right.
then,
Yeah.
so I don't know how people can say it's more popular. I don't. I don't understand it.
I think it's probably more popular on television, football,
Yeah. Yeah.
because they only play once a week.
That's right. That's
So
right.
you can get, especially more younger, like 162 games. They lose interest in it, but it's it has a history, at least in America, that no other sport has.
And Japan,
Yeah, Japan,
Korea,
they've gotten
big
Japan.
time.
It's huge. I was the only no-hitter thrown at Coors was Nomo. I dig in.
Oh yeah, Dan Nomo.
Yeah, and I was, I wanted to see I threw BP, and there were somewhere around 25,000 Japanese reporters there, and they were just all over the field, and I thought this was cool, so I threw BP, and then I was gonna, I stayed for the game, and but before the game started, uh, they couldn't. I don't. I suppose they got to go into the visitors clubhouse, and talk to Nomo and whatever, but they weren't allowed into the Rockies clubhouse.
Right.
And there were a lot of them. I'd say at least a dozen at least.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but Nomo, and the game in Japan was going to be on like 4 a.m, and they said there'll be 100% viewership of this in Japan.
Yeah.
So we're in the clubhouse, and Baylor is like, he's got to go out and face them, the reporters, So up he goes, into the dugout on the field. And I'm sitting I wanted a good view of this. I'm sitting in the dugout. And Baylor was 6'3", maybe 6'4"-ish, big man.
Yeah.
And here he is, and then here are all the reporters.
Right.
I mean, he was, 2 feet taller, and he's answering all these questions. It was classic. And then, of course, he threw the no-no. Wow. But yeah, that was cool to see.
Cool. It's interesting when we get into that cultural stuff. How big it is in Japan, how big it is in Korea, how big it is in Cuba, how big it is in Mexico, how big it is in Nicaragua and Panama and Venezuela,
Dominican.
And people don't realize that. Okay, so there is a book that I've read called "The Catcher is a Spy." Did you ever see it? Hear it?
No, I know about it though.
It's about Mo Berg.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a very interesting book.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And during World War II, or before World War II we knew it was coming. They sent Mo Berg as part of the American team to go to Japan to play the Japanese. And he was really a spy because he spoke a number of languages, and he played in the majors for quite a while. But it's fascinating because they've been playing baseball in Japan it originated, I think, when Americans came over for whatever reason. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it was military. I don't know. But Australia, it's getting bigger.
It is. A kid I worked with went through at least 2 years in Australia.
Really?
He really liked it. Yeah. Yeah.
Did they draw? Did they have crowds?
Oh yeah. Yeah. He really he thought it was a great, and there are a lot of guys, major league guys, in the twilight of their career. They'll go to Japan to finish, or they're young and they want to establish themselves a little bit. Baseball in Japan's very polite.
Yeah.
They don't argue with umpires, and well, look at Ohtani. He's always, very polite, respectful guy.
Yeah.
And that's I would, as a pitcher, I would find that irritating. But it is, in that sense. They and all their pitchers, for the most part, pretty much have the same mechanics, which are healthy, good mechanics.
Yeah.
So it is interesting.
Their hitters as well seem to have similar stances.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like a kick. They have a kick. And
they don't fish a lot.
No, they don't fish at all. Yeah, they don't fish a lot at all.
No, they are. They seem to be very comfortable with their strike zone.
Yeah.
This is my strike zone, and unless I got 2 strikes on me, I'm not going out of that. And
no, they're very regimented.
Yeah.
In a good way, I think.
Yeah, very disciplined, and
yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting how in 1945, who would have thought they'd be playing, a lot of Japanese ball players would be playing in American baseball.
I know. And the Phillies don't have a lot. I think they had 1 or 2.
Dodgers have a good
the West Coast
funnel.
Teams seem to have more.
They have a good funnel into Japan.
Yeah, well, because the time difference also is less.
Yeah.
If you're in Philly or New York, that's 3 hours added on.
Sure.
So, plus there are larger Asian communities, Japanese communities.
Oh, absolutely.
On the West Coast than there are on the East Coast. Not that there aren't communities here, but it's much larger west.
Yeah.
So, that's the calling card.
Yeah. It's and Nomo, I remember he was just a very polite guy. And I was watching a Dodger game, and they were talking about Valenzuela, who was,
who did play for the Phillies for a little bit.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, he became a legend in
LA.
Ravine. And I got to meet him up. He was doing the Spanish broadcasts of the Dodger games. And I've told you in the past about he's passed now, Joe Cullinane, who we wrote the book about his life. And anyway, we were good friends with one of the radio broadcasters of the Rockies, and he'd let us come up and get to eat up in the area just for the announcers and whatever. So I've got Joe up there, and it's kind of you picked out your own food laying there, and so I come on, Joe, let's go. And there's Valenzuela. He's getting food, and so he's right in front of me. So hey, how you doing? And he spoke kind of like Reynoso. He spoke in good English when he wanted to.
Right.
Exactly. Oh, hi, how you doing? So we talked, and I asked him how he liked broadcasting, and oh, I love it. And I said, a little easier than pitching, isn't it? He goes, oh, yeah. But I looked at I was here, so and his left hand was hanging down, and his wrist was just turned out.
Wow.
From throwing 3 million screwballs.
Wow. Really? So it had a physical impact on him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, you throw that many of them, that's a really unhealthy, that's why guys don't do it.
Yeah.
That's a really unhealthy throw for your arm.
Screwballs, which is an interesting term in and of itself. I wonder if the term screwball came from the pitch, or the pitch came from the idiomatic expression, screwball. But
I think the first guy who threw it was crazy. That's why they called it. No, I think it's screw. You screw like this,
screwball,
and you're doing.
I wonder if I have a feeling Tug McGraw threw a screwball, but I may be wrong.
His career was going in the tank. Tug McGraw's career was, and I got this from Ralph Terry, who Tug gives full credit in his book to Ralph Terry for saving his career.
Wow.
Because Tug came up and got smacked around, and I don't remember all the nuts and bolts of it, but he got sent down, and he was throwing the screwball,
Mm-hmm.
and the pitching coach at the big said, "Stop throwing that. It's going to hurt you. It's not, blah, 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 blah." So he goes down, he stops throwing it, he's not doing well. Ralph showed him again how to throw it and encouraged him, no, no. If you get people out, you got to throw it. And it was getting people out. So he comes back up. And despite no, I don't want you throwing it, he threw it. Well, the rest, as they say, is history.
Yeah, I mean, the picture of him jumping up in the air in 1980 when the Phillies won the World Series is like, it's iconic here. I mean,
of course. Absolutely. Yeah, he was. But Ralph was proud to say he gave me credit for that, because he talked him into and helped him with it. And he came back up and basically told the guy, "No, I'm throwing it." And then as he got people out, of course, the consensus is, "Shut up, Bill. He's throwing it. It's doing well."
And he was an amazing player because he played for. It's like somebody playing for the Yankees and the Red Sox, like Johnny Damon. Okay, you play for each rival. It was like, what? Johnny Damon is going to the Yankees?
I know. That seems shocking.
Shocking. He's going to have to cut his hair and shave his facial hair. But I mean, he did it. Well, Tug played for the Mets and the Phillies. And when he played for the Phillies, it was like, wow, we got him. And he holds up this thing, Phil's win, when he won the World Series. And he gave this sort of to New York, and he said it. He said
Showed
something.
You.
Yeah. So the Tugger it's interesting. And this is something that's kind of medical and baseball related. Tug McGraw died of brain cancer.
Right.
Darren Daulton died of brain cancer. They both played in the same park for years. And I wonder who else got something like that. And I always wondered, is it the turf? What was it? Or maybe it's just a coincidence.
Yeah.
Because brain cancer, is not that common. It's common enough. It's a cancer, but it's weird. It's weird. And
I don't know. My mom died of brain cancer.
She did?
She did. My feeling in her case was it was stress.
Stress?
Stress.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's stress.
Stress will manifest itself somehow in everybody if you're under stress. In her case, it was she wanted to work, forever, and she was working at a church in the preschool, and she had COPD.
Oh, okay.
Because back then everybody smoked, and so she had to be on oxygen. Well, she couldn't do all this and go there and work, so she was stuck at home, all hooked up to this oxygen. And I think she got so stressed over it.
Oh boy!
That it manifested itself. That's just my theory.
Yeah, I get it. I understand how that could be, because my dad died of leukemia, and he was a health food person and everything else. Watch what you eat and all this. But he had a leather repair shop, and he was always spraying these.
Oh, sure, those chemicals.
Yeah, chemicals. And I said, that's what killed him. He had lousy ventilation in the shop, and it was all aerosol, and it was got into his blood system. And
but those guys like Tug McGraw, and look what happened to Roger Maris. He lost all his hair, and I'm just stress.
Yeah, he had a hard time with it. He had a hard time.
He did. He absolutely did.
he had a hard time facing the reporters.
Yeah.
Roger Maris.
We don't know, that. I don't remember who the reporter was, but the theory is that it changed reporting forever because he didn't want to do press conferences after games, and even when he had to, he was very quiet. So you hit that home run in the third inning. Tell us about that. It was a fastball. Okay. And some reporter, they got tired of him, just cutting it short and whatever. And I don't know where it was in the season, but he was doing it. And some reporter said, "You're married, right?" And, yeah. "So you fool around on the road?" And then other reporters realize reporting on sports and probably celebrities had been pretty clean straight up.
Yeah.
And they went, whoa, 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 we can get into the personal lives of these people. Boom, it opened a door and everybody was off and running with it.
Oh, man, that sucks.
And now, you go home and there's paparazzi in your bathroom. And it's crazy.
It's interesting because what they've done, I guess what that did, I mean, one of those situations that you're talking about was, Tim McGraw, the country singer, is Tug McGraw's son, right?
I know all too well. I know all too well.
He didn't know he had it, a son, I think. So, am I right about that?
I don't know about that.
They were estranged, let's put it that way. Okay. And then they made up, and he threw the first pitch out, and he came to the Phillies games and stuff. But these reporters, I was watching the game yesterday, and that was pretty cool. I mean, there were so many neat things, but sometimes these reporters start talking about stuff, they forget that there's a game.
Yeah.
And I was watching last night, they were talking, and obviously it was CC Sabathia and oh God, what's the guy playing for the Astros and the Phillies? And the guy from MLB Network. And what's that? Pence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they were talking about something, and maybe they were talking about Clemens, Roger Clemens, and Corey Clemens, and they basically forgot about the game. And I went like, "Hey, there's a game."
Yeah.
Right? There's a game. Like, you're supposed to be talking about the game. Okay.
Yeah.
And that does happen, especially on the national broadcasts. And it's annoying. I mean, my wife and I, Colleen and I, will sit and we'll go like, why are they talking about that? There's a game.
Well, I think some of them, they get infatuated with their own knowledge and and they get rolling and
they forget.
Yeah, and arguably baseball's a tough game to broadcast. Hockey, on the other side of the coin, that's brutal to broadcast. And Wilson passes it over to Swanson. Swanson skates. I mean, it's just constant. Basketball is kind of in the middle. Football's kind of in the middle. But baseball, those long pauses are. And what is. So I'm watching the Cubs are playing. No, the Red Sox are in Toronto.
Okay.
Toronto has runners at first and second. Guy up hits a pop-up kind of just behind first base. First baseman Contreras for the Red Sox, who I like a lot. He's drifting back and he's right at the foul line, and the first base umpire signals infield fly rule.
What?
Well,
okay. I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Well, Contreras drifts into foul territory just a little bit and drops the ball. It was an accident. He was kind of looking up and he drops the ball. The runners move up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. So the umpires have to all gather. Wouldn't you love to hear some of those conversations? It's a foul ball. It's not, the infield fly rule is not in effect. Fair ground, yes. Foul ground, no.
Yeah.
So, oh no, the runners have got it. This took 5 minutes. And
what was the final outcome? They realized that it's a foul ball.
Yeah, and the runners had to go back.
It's funny because to me that's part of the nuance that I enjoy. Like, wait, it was like yesterday. Brandon Marsh,
right,
stole second, but they called him out. Okay, the Phillies, wanted it reviewed. The umps looked at it, and initially it looked like he was out. Initially, and then they did the slow-mo thing, and Marsh had shifted around, and the guy didn't tag him.
Oh, so he got his hand in first.
Yeah, he got his hand in first. So I'm watching. I said to my wife, "He's out." And then they slow, and I went, "He's safe."
Yeah.
See, to me, I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly enough, when we talk about, it's slow for some people. You and I, we watch the nuances. Why is this guy shifting at shortstop and all this other stuff? My mother would say, "I cannot watch football." I'd say, "Why, Mom?" She said, "It's boring." See, we hear most of the time people say baseball's boring because they don't understand. And she would say, "It's 10 seconds of a play and 3 minutes of commercials. Then another 10 seconds of a play, and takes them another 30 seconds to have another play for 10 seconds, and then the commercials."
A lot of truth to that.
Yeah. She said, "I can't watch it. Baseball I can watch. I watch the guys move. I watch and I'm trying to figure out what they're going to do." So it's, and she was right.
She is. Yeah. Yeah. It's I think baseball is, of the 4 major sports, well, you want to throw in soccer, is the most cerebral game.
Absolutely.
But people don't see that. And, they see the manager.
Yeah.
It's not like you're the football coach and you're calling plays, or the basketball coach, or they're walking up and down the bench and all that sort of thing. But, there are 11 ways at least to score from third base.
Right.
7 from second, 3 from first. Now, to non-baseball, well, who cares? Okay, that's fine. If you're into baseball and you're playing, you need to know that.
Exactly.
That's why getting a runner to third is so critical. That fascinates me. I've seen it more this year, though. Go to extra innings, you got the ghost runner at second.
Which I'm not a big fan of, but okay.
You got to bunt him over.
Yeah, I just don't get that. You bunt him over, then you have 1 out, and you got 2 more tries to bring him home.
Fly ball, he's in.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't either. And I do see, now the Dodgers are good at doing that. There are other teams that are really getting pretty good at laying down some bunts.
Yeah.
But there are teams that, well, we'll just hope for a knock. Okay.
Yeah, it's the other day, the Phillies were playing like the Cardinals, I guess, and they won in 12 innings, which is unusual anymore.
Right. Yeah.
It used to be it's 18 innings, it's 17 innings, and I thought about that. It was like, wait a minute, how can you not score? So in the 10th, I think they scored the Cardinals and the Phillies scored.
Yeah.
The 11th, nobody scored. The 12th, the Phillies. But it's an automatic bunt.
It should be.
Yeah, and it should be up the. It should
third
be a drag bunt.
line.
Or it could be a drag bunt if you're a lefty, right?
Yeah.
Because
but the point is, you got to get it to third base.
You do have to get it.
You got to get it.
Yeah, you got to get the runner to third.
Absolutely, and you want to make that third baseman come in and get it.
Right, that's right. You're right. If you hit a drag bunt and the pitcher gets it, he still may be able to throw to third.
Right.
It's tough. It's tough, but you may be able to get it out. If you bunt down the third base line, it doesn't matter because you're still, even if you're out, you're gonna be out of first.
Yeah.
Oh, it is cerebral. It is cerebral.
It is.
It's the great. It's physics and all that other stuff. But Jan.
Well, let me tell you one quick funny one.
Yeah.
This story of this, it's a joke, but before the game, they're doing the national anthem, the teams line up, and there's an old veteran standing in front of, and next to him is a rookie while they're playing the national anthem. And he can see this kid is so nervous. Just first game, and he's just uptight. So they start playing the national anthem, and the old veteran wants to make him feel better, and he says, "Hey kid, yeah, hear this song? Yeah, every time they play this song, I have a terrible day." Because it's, of course, before every game.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I do want to ask you one question while I'm thinking about it, and then we're going a little long. What happens? And you must have been around this a number of times when a guy really has to go to the bathroom during a game.
They go.
Yeah, but they're out in the outfield or they're playing their position.
That won't. I've never seen that happen when they're on the field. I never had that happen on the field.
Really?
I never really had that happen I never really had that happen.
Yeah, because if a guy really has to go, he's got to run off the field and take time out and say, "Listen, I got to go to the bathroom."
I've never. That's usually not a problem. And once you get to the dugout,
yeah,
got bathrooms right there, or out in the bullpen, they got them. But
I just thought of that because Richie Ashburn one time was sliding into third, triple. He's a great hitter, Richie Ashburn.
Oh yeah.
And he released himself, or it released from him. Okay. Yeah. And he didn't go back into the game because he talked about it when he was an announcer for years for the Phillies. He said, "Yeah, I just I had stomach problems and this one."
Yeah.
So,
well, there's some guys that, Mark Schlereth, he does NFL stuff and has a couple Super Bowl rings with the Broncos. And I worked with his son for a couple of years, who got to the bigs.
Wow.
Anyway, when he was the right guard he played for Washington for a couple of years, I think, and then he finished with the Broncos and won a couple of Super Bowls. He was the right guard. And I'll just leave it at this. His nickname was Stink.
And with that, Jan, this has been another great one.
Absolutely.
Dissecting baseball, Japanese baseball, American baseball, all kinds of stuff. This was a great episode 11 on digging for gold. And
Dan and Jan go.
Dan and Jan go yard.
Right.
I love it. I
do too. It's awesome.
Folks, join us again next week for another Dan and Jan go yard. As we go to, this is episode 11. We'll be going to episode 12. We'll see you next time on
Adios.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye-bye.